Are you seriously questioning my authority right now? That's what this woman, this textbook Karen, yelled at me while standing dead center in front of my golf cart, blocking the path like she owned the entire course. Her face was red, her jaw locked, and she was gripping that clipboard like it held the Constitution. I wish I were exaggerating, but Nosh actually called the cops on me, claimed I was some kind of security threat driving an unauthorized vehicle. And all I was trying to do was prep the course for a charity tournament for local kids. Yeah, that happened. It started out as one of those perfect Saturday mornings, the kind where the grass is still a little wet, the sun's coming up slow, and you can hear your own thoughts for once. I was riding in my custom black golf cart, mapping out setup spots in my head, registration tent by the clubhouse, silent auction under the big oak near the third hole, and out of nowhere, I see her power marching across the fairway like she's auditioning for a HOA-themed action movie. She had that look, you know. Like she walked out of a catalog for suburban control freaks. Hair sprayed into battle formation, crisp khakis, a fitted polo in HOA blue, and the kind of energy that says, I've been waiting all week to ruin someone's day. Stop right there, she barked, planting herself in front of my cart like a human stop sign. I manage this community. I gave her a smile, figured she might have mistaken me for a vendor or something. Morning, I said. Everything all right? She wasn't here for small talk. Where is your permit? She snapped, like she expected me to whip out a badge and salute. I calmly said, I'm exactly where I should be. Apparently that was the wrong answer. Her voice hit another octave and she started pointing at my cart like it was a stolen tank. You can't be here without documentation. This is private property. Ma'am, I said, already regretting the word, I wouldn't do this if I wasn't allowed to. Then she pulls out her phone like she's about to call in an airstrike. I'm calling the police. I tried to give her an out, one last shot at dignity. I'd really think twice about that call. But she just huffed, don't threaten me, know my rights. And then she called. I heard her tell the dispatcher there was an unauthorized individual operating a suspicious vehicle and that she felt endangered. It would have been hilarious if it weren't so ridiculous. Now here's the kicker: while she's calling 911 on me, I texted my assistant, Tom. Just 2 words, it's time. See, what she didn't know and what made the whole thing such a slow-motion car crash was that I'm not just some guy cruising the course. I'm the owner of the golf course. And the land her house sits on. And her HOA fees. Yeah. They come to my company's account every month. I didn't flex that fact up front, no need. But the way she was escalating things. She practically begged for a lesson in humility. A few minutes later, a cruiser rose up. Officer Martinez stepped out, middle-aged, calm, the kind of guy who's seen every flavor of suburban drama and has no patience left for any of it. The way he sighed as he got out of the car told me he'd dealt with her before. Miss Hamilton, he said, not even trying to hide the tired in his voice, what seems to be the issue this time? That this time told me everything I needed to know. Rebecca launched into her speech like she'd rehearsed it in front of a mirror, listing every imaginary offense like I'd just driven through her petunias. Officer Martinez nodded, glanced my way, then asked, Sir, do you have authorization to be here? I pulled out the folder from under my seat, clean documents, permits, ownership records. Handed them over. He scanned through, radioed it in, and said, everything's in order here. No violations. The look on her face, I wish I could bottle it. Her mouth opened, closed, then opened again like a fish that just realized the tank is real small. That's not possible, she said, eyes darting back and forth. He can't, this isn't. Sometimes, I told her, things aren't what they look like. Officer Martinez handed back my folder and, with the soft authority of someone who's babysat grown-ups before, said, Miss Hamilton, I'd advise against filing false report again. This gentleman's well within his rights. She backed away like she was in a dream, mumbling something about this not being over. And, of course, it wasn't. Over the next few days, I started seeing movement near the trees by the fairway, curtains twitching at odd hours, phone cameras poking out from behind hedges. She started following me around like a poorly-trained spy, even enlisted her elderly neighbor to walk the dog at the same time I played each morning. Subtle, it was not. Monday she showed up at the clubhouse in sunglasses and a hat, asking the front desk if they'd seen a man with a black cat who may be impersonating management. Tuesday, she tried to photograph my license plate. Wednesday, she went full Nancy Drew, writing dramatic post on the community message board, "Who is the man with unauthorized access? What are they hiding?" She spun it into some HOA thriller where she was the lone heroine standing against corruption. The funny part: people started picking sides. Some residents backed her, suspicious that anyone could just roam the greens. Others were like, "Dude just plays golf and picks up trash, what's your problem?" But the big one was the emergency safety meeting she called. She booked the community center, passed out flyers like it was a revolution, and opened the event with a slideshow. I'm not kidding, photos of me on the course, arrows, and captioned like unknown mail, timelines, bullet points. She even suggested, get this, that I might be tied to criminal activity based on unverified financial behavior. I let her finish. Then, about 15 minutes in, I walked in. The room went quiet. 40 residents turned, jaws slightly open. Tom followed behind me with a stack of binders. Rebecca's voice faltered. "Why is he here?" Tom stepped forward, calm as ever. "I think now would be a good time to clarify everything." He introduced me to the crowd. "This is Nathan Cross. He owns the course, the facilities, the undeveloped lots, and yes, your HOA contracts." The silence that followed. You could have dropped a ball marker and heard it bounce. And then the final blow. Tom held up a file. "MS. Hamilton, we'd also like to remind the community Rebecca was previously terminated from Mr. Cross's company for misconduct. And her home's mortgage, financed by Nathan's bank." She turned white. Someone gasped. An older guy in the back said, "Well done." Rebecca didn't say a word. She just walked out. No dramatic exit. Just that quiet walk people take when they realize the story they've been writing stars them as the villain. Now, I'm not telling this to gloat, okay, maybe a little, but mostly because it says something about how fast people buy into drama without asking questions. About how authority can be faked with a clipboard and an angry tone. But real power, real respect, that comes from showing up, doing the work, and not needing to shout it from the rooftops. So what would you have done? Should I have stepped in sooner, or was it better to let her unravel on her own? Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've ever had a run-in with someone like Rebecca. Tell me, how does justice look like in a neighborhood gone sideways?